The gentlewoman from Connecticut is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield myself 5 minutes. I rise in support of the measure before us today, which includes the Labor, Health, Human Services, and Education, Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development, and the Department of Defense appropriations bills. I want to begin by thanking Ranking Member Betty McCollum and Ranking Member Jim Clyburn for their fine work on the defense and transportation bills, respectively. Both bills are remarkably strong agreements that serve as testaments to their tenacity as negotiators. I also want to say a thank you to Chairman Calvert and Chairman Womack and my counterpart on the Labor HHS Subcommittee, Chairman Adderholt, for his partnership in reaching a strong agreement on our bill as well. None of this would have been possible without the incredible work of the committee staff, in particular, Stephen Stegleiter, Jennifer Chartrand, Christina Monroe, Jackie Kilroy, Lori Mignon, Philip Tizzani, Nora Fay, Ed Edscorn, and Jason Gray. And lastly, I want to express my appreciation for my friend and counterpart on the full committee, Chairman Cole, and the majority staff. This package is a strong, bipartisan, bicameral agreement that rejects the Trump administration's efforts to eviscerate public services and reasserts Congress's power of the purse. It rejects efforts to dismantle the Department of Education, instead providing $79 billion in funding for K-12 education programs, financial aid, support for students with disabilities, and much more. It redoubles our efforts and investments in biomedical research, increasing NIH funding by $415 million, and supporting efforts to develop treatments and cures for cancer, Alzheimer's, ALS, and other deadly diseases. It provides more than $9 billion for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to protect and promote our nation's public health. And it increases funding for SAMHSA to provide mental health support and to advance our battle against addiction. This bill supports families feeling the squeeze from the cost of living crisis by investing in affordable housing, protecting funding for rental assistance as the cost of housing continues to climb. These and other efforts will prevent more than 4 million American households from being evicted. Additionally, this package provides funding for a 3.8% pay raise for the brave men and women who serve our country in uniform, and it increases funding for medical research by $1.7 billion, supporting research to develop treatment for diseases and service-related injuries. At a time of international uncertainty, this bill shores up support for our European allies and does not include any additional funding for operations in Venezuela or the Caribbean. You can measure the success of these negotiations by the distance between what was initially proposed and what was ultimately agreed to. When you look at the numbers, it is astonishing. In the Labor HHS bill alone, we rejected more than $50 billion in proposed cuts. The Transportation Housing Bill provides $46 billion more than the White House had proposed. There are over 50 programs across these two bills that Republicans propose to outright eliminate, but are ultimately funded in this package. I consider that a success. In addition, this package contains important provisions to rein in the Trump administration. It provides funding levels, removing ambiguity that the White House has sought to exploit in the past. It establishes deadlines for required spending, provides minimum staffing thresholds to prevent agencies from being hollowed out, and increases notification requirements to ensure the administration is complying with the laws that Congress makes. I am proud of the work that was done on these bills, and I encourage my colleagues to support this package. Thank you, and I reserve the balance of my time.